Hello, I am Sammy, and welcome to new part in me playing Dark Souls. So, last part, I was getting a little tired. I was trying to take down basically what's the first knight of the game, the first Black Knight that you find. I'm trying to play a new style, so it's having a little bit of trouble. Trying not to go for the typical sword and shield type of combo. For this game, I'm gonna make an honest effort to do a two-handed style of combat. So without the shield, it's a bit harder to fight the tougher enemies like the knight. So yeah, I've been trying to tackle that. Pardon me while I check on the stream quality. One of the things I want to do is, check out my equipment and make sure. Seeing as I'm not using a shield, I'm just going to go ahead and unequip the shield and see if I can get my weight down a bit. See, it looks like I'm already below the 50% level. So I should be doing I think at least a mid-roll here. I shouldn't be fat rolling, as they say, they affectionately say. So even with the shield, I can still keep that equipped, as a just in case. See, 21 out of 52. So I should be okay as far as that. But I'm gonna see. Let's see, I go to 19. Isn't quite below. See if that makes a difference. Now I'm still doing about the same, standard mid-rolling here. I'm not doing any fat rolling. That's not why it's hard against the knight. Anyhow. Just so that I'm not tempted to use it, I'm going to go ahead and try to tackle him without even the shield equipped. Okay, just have to... Just because you have gone through a specific area does not mean to be careless. That is like the number one. Well, maybe not number one, but pretty big cause of death is that you can get through an area and you think you know it, and you try to rush through, and then you forget essentially how to do the area properly. Fortunately, I locked onto the wrong guy. I was trying to take out the bomber first. That's okay. Yeah, so I just have to be careful here, and still attack these enemies the same way. Try not to rush. So now that I'm starting out here, I will probably worth doing a sort of a recap or thing, or explaining what exactly I'm doing besides the short-term goal of trying to defeat that knight. Still at fairly the beginning of the game, so basically I was told by a couple of characters in the beginning that I'm an undead, which is why I look like this. You start out in the game as an undead. The term is hollow. You're hollowed, and there is a way to become or to look like normal again. Essentially, you start out with the curse of the undead. Alright, let me heal up. And what happens to the undead in this world is that they are sent to the undead asylum, which is where you start the game. And there we learn that we learn of a legend that an undead is meant to go to these lands where I am now. It's called Lordran, and go on like an epic quest. And that the first thing to do is to ring a bell. I have a little bit of a hitch there. I'm gonna blame that hit completely on the hitch. No backstab there. That's a shame. I got it this time though. That's good. Yeah. So I think as long as I keep doing this, as long as I keep being careful. Yeah, I dodged a little too early there. Alright, heal time. Yeah, this game punishes you if you're not timing it right. You go to a different area. This will be an easier place. Yeah, did a lot better that time than my previous attempts. I think that's because I'm starting out new. I'm refreshed, and I'm being a lot more careful. Again, if I had the shield, I'd be able to make short work of that knight. I've gotten pretty good at parrying even the tough enemies. Without a shield, you can't parry. Anyhow, as I was saying before, my main goal right now is to ring a pair of bells. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm heading towards the first bell. And I don't technically have to fight this knight. I could continue on. This knight is completely optional, but I figure he's a nice tough enemy to practice a new style of combat. So, because I'm trying to learn this two-handed style, I figure the knight will provide a much better challenge. Go after this guy first. There's also the fact that I'm still fairly used to Dark Souls 2's style of combat, which is a bit quicker and more dependent on rolls, on rolling and dodging. I would say because, well, for one, poise basically means nothing in that game. You could build your character full of heavy armor and poise, and you could still be staggered fairly easily. Whereas in this game is much more focused on not just dodging, but you you can take hits more often in this game because of the way poise works. You take a hit and not be staggered and continue on, as long as you have nice heavy armor that weighs you down. But in Dark Souls 2, that combat is definitely focused on trying to get you to dodge instead of blocking, instead of taking hits. So get this item here, longsword. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I have right now. Yeah, since I'm going for a two-handed, maybe I should try this battle axe. Do more damage. For now, I'm not really too much of a fan of axes, but in the early game I could use as much damage output as possible. And one thing I could do, I haven't actually done this yet, but I should probably level up first. Might be a good idea fighting the knight here. Because I have acquired enough souls to do a few levels up. Might as well do that now. I notice I actually have one humanity stored up. I think that's because every time somebody kindles a bonfire, which is like what I'm selecting right here, kindling. Every time somebody kindles a bonfire in an area, any other players that are currently online in the area get an additional humanity, which I believe your humanity number gives you an extra defense boost. Otherwise, like, in order to kindle the bonfire and actually raise your humanity number, you need to actually use a humanity, and using humanity makes you not hollow anymore, which is what I described before. It turns you back into a human, but when you do that, when you're in human form, you also open yourself up to invasion and to the PvP portions of this game. So let's see. Vitality and endurance will be like the most important things for me, especially in the beginning. And later on, since I'm doing a two-handed, probably go with strength here. I'm not going to be worried too much about intelligence and faith. And resistance, we all know, and in Dark Souls, it's actually resistance is probably the least useful stat in the game. So for now, attunement is about is again related to magic, and it gives you magic slots. So I won't be using that too much, if at all. So I'll start with vitality. How many levels can I go up? I can go 3 levels. So I need 2 in vitality and 1 in endurance. 13 vitality and endurance. So vitality is simple, it's just health, your health bar. Endurance is your stamina bar. So stick with those for now. I don't do the axe so much, so I don't usually. I haven't seen that axe backstabbing animation. Rather, I think I've seen it, but I haven't seen it all too often. So it's still fairly new to me. be able to hit these guys. Or get them in one hit. You know what, I'm actually just going to go back to the bonfire. I want to try to approach that knight with as many Estus as possible, so I can just start over. So I'm so close to the bonfire anyway. Another thing that a lot of people forget is that you can, you know, there's no harm in going back to the bonfire and resting up again, even if it respawns everybody. I know whenever I watch other streamers, I'm like, yeah, why don't you just run the bonfire? You just heal up, you're right next to it anyway. You only defeated a couple enemies, not really that big of a deal. Try again. See, I did that much better, and I was able to do that without an Estus, so now I'm actually much better off than I was if I would have just used an Estus last. I'm glad I leveled up, because being able to fight these enemies in much better fashion. And I think the axe here is actually what's letting me get them in one hit, whereas the sword, it took 2 hits. I'm trying to do this plunging attack from here, like that. If I do this plunging attack on him, sometimes he's actually able to block it. Sometimes, like in that case, he didn't block it. Either way, it's good, because there we go. Now I will run to a much better location to fight him, because this is not a good location. It's very narrow. Plus, if I die, it's a long way to run for to regain your souls. I did manage to get it in before he hit me, so now let me in position to another wide open space. Basically, whenever he does that, that's when I want to move in with a running attack. What are you doing here? It's gonna screw me up. Alright, quick heal, bring him back. I think no matter what happened there, it would have been even if I was able to dodge that one attack, the other dude there would have probably gotten me. But yeah, I'm getting closer, I'm getting more and more used to this two-handed fighting style. In many ways, this feels a lot like my first playthrough of the game, because I'm trying a new style. It does feel a lot more like that newfound experience. remember in the beginning there, I like didn't really know what to make of this game. It's like such an odd experience, like just how slow it was and how methodical it was. Okay, see, I have another humanity humanity number there. It went up to 2, so I'm thinking somebody must have kindled their bonfire here. Now, if you're wondering, maybe I should do that. Kindling the bonfire, if you don't know, it gives you an extra 5 Estus flasks, so that allows you to have more healing options. So I guess something like that would help me against the knight. But then again, like, I know this area, and I know that it is a pretty big PvP invasion area. So I figure maybe it's not the best thing to do right now. 2 and 1 there. That's pretty good. One more try at the night. I know right near that bonfire, that wide open area is a pretty popular space for PvPers and for people who like to duel each other. Now that usually happens at more of a higher level, but that doesn't mean that there won't be people looking to invade, even at lower levels, trying to prey on newer players. If I just do that, Hug is back. I should be able to make short work of him. I gotta be a lot more patient than I was before. Just, you know, take the opportunistic hits there. Wow. Alright. This opportunity to run. So I could heal. And that guy's back. Not good, not good. Okay, got lucky there. I think I got lucky. Just did a, not good. Again, like, you can tell exactly where it broke down, where, that second guy second guy is really throwing me off there. It's really spooking me. It was just one-on-one, me against the knight. I think I'd be able to handle him, but I'm just getting really nervous when I see that other guy coming. And even though I beat him there, the second guy, like I lost the rhythm of the battle. Rhythm can mean everything in this game. So you just gotta be in the groove of the combat. Or I think this is the dude that's always coming after me against the knight. So if I get him now, he shouldn't be bothering me later. I have good 3,000 souls now, so I could actually, in theory, I could actually, you know, head back and level up. So right there, even though he blocked my hit, he has like basically no armor, no poise, so my jump attack there very easily staggered him. Give me that opportunity, that opening to hit. Ah, miss. Alright. Can't forget, you need to be quiet, not run up to him. Then the backstab is possible. Also, if you're wondering why I'm not just hitting him while he's down, you can't do that really. You're immune to damage until you get back up. So I'm just taking the opportunity to just run anyway. All right, so just do that when he does that attack. See, I think I actually staggered him there. 2 hits and he staggered. Ah, he's a 3-hit combo there, and he got me. A lot of game is just a lot of Dark Souls, I think, is doing exactly this. Just, you know, going through, learning the path, basically getting into the groove of the area, kind of getting a streamlined approach. Let me see. I haven't actually checked my stats all that much. Oh, that was not fair. Let's see, the fire damage actually went through the wall there. Anyhow, I want to check out. Okay, my poise is pretty low. It's only 5, and I want to be. I think eventually I want to get near 30 or so poise, so I need some heavier armor. But of course, I'm still in the beginning of the game, and I'm still in my starting armor here. And it's basically my class starting armor. I'm kind of torn between leveling up because I want to actually, like, I could level up my strength and make it so that it takes fewer hits to take down the knight. At the same time, I want to see if I can do it without having to resort to that. Like, I could just essentially brute force my way through the enemy, but I also want to learn the nuance. I want to learn to fight in the hard way, essentially. I want to learn the patience it takes to fight the harder enemies, so I'll be more prepared later on. But eventually, I do want to move on. I don't want to. Hopefully, I can beat this knight in this stream, and I can actually move on past him. That's I guess, my goal for this stream. Okay, do a jump attack there. He does that attack. And he does that, you know, flourish after that attack. Be careful now because, well, then at least I was low on stamina, so I didn't want to do anything. Okay, I knew it was going to do that 3-hit. Oh man, he actually hit me through that. Okay, jump attack. He is pretty good at raising his shield there. See, I'm very tempted to take maybe some cheap hits, what I would think would be some cheap hits, but, yeah, see? Because of his strength, he can finish me so quickly, so... Like, even then, I didn't really take any cheap hits. But even then, he finished me off very quickly. And if I tried to take some cheap hits there, it would have ended even sooner. Did not connect. And major opening for the enemies, rather. Major disadvantage, I guess, for me. This guy always throws me off when I'm fighting the knights, so I'm just going to start adding him to my lineup, I guess. Again, new players like that knight is completely optional, as I said before. The only reason I'm fighting him is, for practice. Breaking this guy's poise, but he keeps blocking me again. Practice and for the item that is past him. I want to get that item. Sorry if this is boring for people watching, but this will actually help me improve my game later on. I think I am getting better at this whole two-handed sword style or weapon style. Getting pretty close to taking down the knight. So I want to take advantage of the 3 humanity number I have right now. Give me a nice small defense boost. Okay, jump attack right then. Almost tempted to take a hit there. Oh, I didn't know he could actually go into a 4-hit combo there. But I guess if he has that opportunity, he'll take it to go right into that 4-hit combo. I don't know how much stamina he has, but he probably can't do any more than 4 hits. That's the 4th hit, but I'll use that to generate my stamina. Okay, got him. Nice, okay. Now, the knights actually don't respawn, so I will actually use this opportunity to go back to the bonfire. Maybe this time I'll level up. Like a celebratory level up Also take the opportunity to check the stream in the chat. Anything going on there. So maybe I'll see how many levels I can go up. A lot, actually. Alright, stream seems to be going strong. It's always a good sign. Alright, so I'll definitely put some into vitality. Maybe go up to 3 levels there. And I'll start putting some into strength. Let's see. Wield advanced weapons. Okay. Yeah, weapons will physical attack weapons, as in like not weapons that don't cast out magic. Weapons that require a physical connection will have 2 main stats: strength and dexterity. And some weapons will have both. Some weapons will be strength focused. Some weapons will be dexterity focused, and others will have a mixture of both. Since I'm going for two-handed run, I think strength will be the main stat I will upgrade, and dexterity, I might upgrade dexterity a little bit, but I'm going to focus on strength. I think I actually reset the level up here. Pressed the wrong button. Anyhow, let's do that, and accept. Actually, I think now that I think about it, I think I might have forgot to pick up the item that knight was guarding. I can't forget to do that before I move on. Another reason why this area felt so weird to me first time through was just how quiet it was. And when you're not doing anything, there's really nothing going on. There's no ambient noise, no music there. It's basically just the noises of you and the enemies. And that's it. So I think this area, from a world perspective, it focuses like a sort of strange sense of place. Like this place is alien and unlike anything else in the world. And from a game perspective, yeah, I need to pick up that item. It makes you feel like it's unlike any game that you've ever played. Normally you'd think games, especially in the beginning like this, in the beginning area, a game would want to give you more of a welcoming presentation, whereas Dark Souls is anything but welcoming. Okay, so I know what's gonna happen here. So, run away. So this whole... I'm gonna go on a tangent here. Like, this whole staircase is kind of an ingenious trap from a design perspective, because when that happens to you, your first instinct will be to run away and panic. But they also put this this opening here, and that leads right to death. So if you panic and run, you run left, then you're basically screwed that way too. But if you approach this with caution and you're looking ahead, you can see the barrel, right here is the trigger point. You'll know to run away backwards, back down the stairs, and you'll be okay. I actually think the game did get me that the first time. I went through it. I ran left and died. And oh yeah, the master key lets me open this door. Like, I don't want to go here yet, but essentially this lets you go to an area much later in the game. Like there's a tough enemy down here. Past this landing. This guy called Hovel. He's wearing this really heavy armor. I'm probably not going to want to fight him right now. I'm just going to take a peek at him. Anyhow, if you were new to the game and you want to get to an area where you're not supposed to be right away, oh, he's still following me. Yeah, he won't leave the tower. Then choose the master key as your... I can still hear him inside there. Choose the master key as your starting item thing, and then you'll be able to open that door much earlier. Then you can test your metal against that guy. See if I can get him. Okay, got him. These lizards, these crystal lizards, they drop very rare rocks called titanite, which are used to upgrade your weapons. Alright, so white light like this, fog gate, usually means boss. And I already know that, yes, as a matter of fact, it is a boss. This one, you don't want to just rush out. You want to, look at the lay of the land and see what's around you. This is like a very clever and kind of a control-ish design, I would say, because even if you look around and take a look, you see there's a ladder here, but it's very, very dark, and you could easily miss it. So, take the ladder up. And there are these archers here, which, very good idea to take these guys down before you proceed further. Most players will probably only find that out, after they attempt this the first time. And they'll be getting hit by archers. It's a really nice view here, by the way. Just take a moment. It's marred a little bit by this game's really heavy use of depth of field blur, which is like one of my least favorite graphical effects. From a cutscene, like a movie perspective, I think depth of field blur is okay. And that is essentially simulating what a camera actually does. But from a game perspective, when I'm when I'm fully interacting with a character, when we're not in a cutscene, I really don't like depth of field blur. Like, I want to be able to look at and focus on and see details from far away. But usually when games use depth of field blur, it's not really for like an aesthetic purpose. Although it is for an aesthetic purpose, but the main purpose is to hide the fact that the far away items aren't that detailed, which can be the case in Dark Souls. I mean, the skybox isn't always that detailed in this game, and that's something that they actually fixed in Dark Souls 2. All right, so Here's the boss. Immediately you want to turn around, try to climb that ladder again. Then use this opportunity for a plunging attack. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for him to attack. And then try to dodge through his legs. I think I actually staggered him there. Interesting. Oh man. That's somehow connected. Dodging did not help. His legs did not help. In that case, I guess it doesn't always work properly, but that's okay. And this is one of the cases where having a shield does not help you anyway, so I can't really blame that on my my two-handed style. Like even if you do have the shield, you'll want to switch to your two-handed for that boss battle anyway, because shield does not really matter in that battle. You might be able to block one hit, but in order to block one of that demon's hits, you'll need to pretty much sacrifice all your stamina. That usually means you'll get hit by the second swing anyway, so pretty pointless to use a shield in that battle. I'm gonna chalk that up to me being just rusty in general. I wonder if this Hollow Warrior armor is any better. Probably is, but I don't know if it's worth actually checking out until I upgrade my stamina a bit. Or rather, not my stamina, by my equipment load. Also, kindling the bonfire won't really help with that battle either, because as you can see, you can really only take 1 or 2 hits, and so stuff like your flasks for recovering health really only helps you on a limited basis in that battle. So basically, you just have to that boss forces you to learn how to dodge successfully, essentially. Alright, so I'll grab my souls and my humanity. Give me a nice humanity level of 4. Forgot how to run and slide in the ladder. I think it's B button or something. No, it's different in Dark Souls 2, so I keep trying to press that button. I'll figure it out eventually. Alright, so drop down. This time I'll try to do the plunging attack correctly. I might have to, might require locking onto him first. There we go. That gives a huge chunk of health off him. Let's see. dodged an extra time there. I didn't want to dodge 3 times. I wanted to dodge twice. Alright. Gotta learn correct timing dodge there. Do that, should be okay. Better that I can break his poise, stagger him. Second time's a charm. Homeward Bone, that's essentially an item, allows me to allows you to head back to the nearest bonfire, or the last bonfire that you rested at. So especially useful in, after boss battles when you gather a lot of souls and you don't want to risk moving forward, because you don't really know when the next bonfire will be. So it's better to just homeward bone back to the previous one, and then you can level up from there. Alright, so I think I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish in this stream, so I think I might, when I get to the next bonfire, I will, which I already know is pretty soon. I wonder if I can open this door? No, Master Key doesn't allow you to go here yet. I guess that would just be skipping too much. Anyhow, here is good old Solaire. Probably everybody's favorite character in this game, depending how you play it. Well, I won't spoil it, but yeah.
Hello.
One of the few
You don't look
friends of this game, one of the few
I am Solaire of Astor,
great characters that you'll
of the Lord
learn
of
to trust.
Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
And so essentially, he, as he says, he's in this land, Lordran, looking for. He says Lord Gwyn. Which we don't really know who he is yet, but he's essentially on the same quest as we are, and he's also trying to ring the bells, and he's trying to follow the path, figuring out what is up with the undead, and trying to fix the curse.
Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you.
You talk to him multiple times, you can learn.
If you have a moment.
Yes.
The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined.
Right.
In a land
Intertwined.
brimming with hollows.
Basically doing.
Could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
Yes.
It pleases me greatly.
So he's
Well then,
one of the
take
characters you can summon in many boss battles.
We are
Several
amidst
boss battles.
strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted.
You'll be able to
with
summon
heroes
him
centuries old
for help
phasing
to help
in and
you.
out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Alright, so as he explains there, explains why we're seeing a lot of the things that we're seeing here. Like, if you notice, there's a lot of ghosts, like a lot of white silhouette characters running through the game, and even character like Solaire. Essentially, we all come from, for lack of a better word, parallel dimensions, and as he says, we all have our own worlds, and sometimes these worlds cross in and out of each other. So right now, say Solaire is actually, our worlds have kind of have have met or have crossed over, and this is allowing us to talk to each other. This is kind of like a diegetic in-world explanation for essentially how you can communicate with other players playing Dark Souls, and why some players can summon you, why you can be summoned into other players' worlds. Is that essentially it's all, you know, every player is in his own dimension doing the same quest, and essentially we're all like Solaire here doing this quest for of the undead, and our worlds are colliding every once in a while. It's also the reason why some players can invade your world, so they actually come from their world and invade your world and try to kill you. So it explains a whole lot about the way the world is interacting, why a lot of things are happening in the world. Let's see if he says any other things. Why you can see text left by other players, like these writings on the ground here, messages.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father.
If you're wondering where the phrase, or the saying "praise the sun" comes from, it's from this guy, the guy everybody loves. Everybody loves "praise the sun." Praise the sun. Message left on the ground there. Praise the sun, of course. So another one. Now, of course, there's something that some players might want to do, and that's you can actually, every NPC, every character in this guy, you can actually kill. You can attack him right now and fight him and kill him. And if you kill him, then he won't be available to be summoned into your game, or not into your game, into your to help you with bosses. So I would say killing characters not always a good idea. Alright, get out of here. Please let me run. I knew that dragon was coming, but even if you don't know that dragon is coming, like, you can tell these clues with the scorch marks on the bridge that it's probably not a good idea to go too far. Alright, so what I want to do right now is I want to try and make it to that halfway point on the bridge, because that's essentially a good way to do it. So probably get killed in one hit by fire breath, but I know that if I unequip everything, I can actually run faster. So you can actually see the character looks pretty ugly when you're hollow, essentially like a zombie, but you can run much faster. So what I want to do is try to get to that halfway point before he starts fire breathing. Alright, and then I can just re-equip my stuff. Do I want to wear the other stuff? Actually, the standard helm is better than these Hollow Warrior helms. 14 defense versus 10. It does weigh a little bit more. Let's see. Gives you better poise too. But the Hollow Warrior armor increases your poise more than the hard leather armor. Okay. So maybe I'll want to actually switch to that. It does have a slightly less defense rating, 24 versus 26, but I think the poise makes it worth it. So yeah, I'll equip that. We have one there. We have one there. So this is the important thing I want to get to before I end the stream. This ladder here, I can kick it and climb down. Oh, that's right. Okay, if I just don't do anything, don't press on the analog stick and press B, I can slide down much quicker. And if this looks familiar, it's because this is actually the same bonfire from before. We've arced all the way around, and this is actually a big moment for a lot of players, including myself. When you find a shortcut like this is probably the first big moment of its kind for this game, is that you start to realize from this moment on just how this world of Dark Souls, how it was constructed, and how it's meant to arc back and loop around multiple times to you, much to your wonderment. I mean, how can you not be surprised and shocked by this level design that kind of, you seem like you go really far away and then you accomplish a lot of things, and it turns out you've actually arced back to an earlier area. When a lesser game would have you just go forward in a straight line and just put a second bonfire. Rather than doing a second bonfire, this game figured out how to have the entire level like this. See this ladder and that level up there, that torch you can see up there, that was there this whole time. You can see some of the old designs of this building. There were stairs to get up to that second level, which you can't actually. They're destroyed, so you can't get there early. But you can unlock that shortcut after you beat that boss and get to that second area of the game. This is, and this is the first example, the first main example of how the game loops around on itself. And I've heard that this game is like these shortcuts and these loops on itself are essentially like the first or best use of a 3D landscape and architecture since Super Mario 64. Since the very first 3D game, this is like the best design of a 3D world. Because it goes up, it goes down, it delves deep, it spreads out wide, and it crisscrosses on itself, and you can go off in one direction from one place, and then come back to that same exact place from a completely different direction. And that happens multiple times in this game, and that's just a truly remarkable architecture, I guess. A truly remarkable level design, world design, both on a individual small area level, and how these areas are meant to be at one time unique and of their own, but they also transition seamlessly and connect to the next areas in remarkable ways. So I don't know. I could go on about this level design, for a very long time, and then I should probably save some of that for future videos. But I think I probably will, because we'll see further examples of this later on, so I might as well leave that. But I just want to get that point across, that stuff like this shortcut just show us how meticulously designed this world is, and how they pay attention to detail, and how they are able to construct this fully 3D world in all directions, not just forward and back, left and right, but up and down too, the way it curves in on itself. So that is one thing that a lot of players, you know, it takes a while to figure that out. Like maybe even not after this shortcut. Like even after this shortcut, I thought it was pretty cool when I realized that this was the same bonfire and this was a shortcut back. But I didn't really realize that this was like a big trick of this game, of Dark Souls, and why Dark Souls is so great until it did that a few more times. So yeah, I actually let the game do that, and so I'll level up on the next stream. But for now, I'm actually gonna end it here. I think I did enough. I beat the Knight. I beat the I think it's called the Smelter Demon. I beat him, and I unlocked the shortcut. So I think that is enough for today. So if you tuned in on stream or on YouTube, thank you very much for watching and joining me as I recaptured the the wonder of Dark Souls for the third time, for me at least. And I'll see you in a future video later.